everyone. How are you guys doing?
Good.
So, are you guys expert about cedar bark now?
Yeah.
Right, that's how I feel. Every time I experience the whole presentation with Nancy, I'm like, geez, I feel like an expert about cedar now. I know everything. So, as you guys know, these aren't just regular trees, right? These are
Cedar.
cedar trees. There we go. Yeah, we can make that connection a little bit. Yeah, kind of. I know they're kind of ugly, kind of weird, but these are cedar trees. Okay. I know they're not real trees. We can't bring real trees on board, but these are cedar trees. Okay. And this is not a dirty blue scarf. This is a river. Exactly. A very fish-filled river, salmon-filled river. Okay. And this is not a bag over a chair. This is a rock. A very heavy rock. Okay? It's much too heavy to move.
Punch it.
And this see-through curtain is our deep, dark wooded forest that you cannot see through at all. Okay? You cannot see through our see-through curtain. Alright? Because we very specifically ordered non-see-through curtain. That's what they gave us. So, I didn't know if you guys know that, but you can go to your order form and say, non-see-through curtain. And that's what they gave us. So, that's alright. Alright, it's our deep, dark, wooded forest. That's what that is. So, you guys know what our stage is, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to begin our play. After the play, we're going to ask you guys some questions. Just to make sure you're paying attention to the play. Alright? A lot of times you guys get to ask questions to us. I'm going to ask questions to you guys. Alright?
Can we ask you guys questions?
So, listen up. We're going to play it over the speakers. Okay? And then it'll begin.
There was excitement in the air. The sound of the drums were coming from the village. The sound of the drums always told the animals in the forest that something was going on. What could it be? Wolf was sleeping, but was awakened by the sound of the drums. You see, Wolf is very nosy and always wanted to know what was going on. So Wolf goes to the edge of the forest to investigate. He peeked around the trees very carefully so not to be seen. He could see the men in the village sharpening their spears. The women were stretching their nets that they made from cedar bark and moss. This could only mean one thing. It was the season of the salmon. This is when the salmon swim up the rivers in such abundance that some would say you could walk across the rivers on the salmon. Wolf loved the salmon season and began to dance with happiness. He especially liked the smoked salmon. This was his favorite. He thought of how he would sneak into the village at night as the humans slept and steal the smoked salmon. He could hardly wait. Wolf shook his head to stop all of the yummy thoughts. He had to tell the other animals about what he had seen. He ran into the forest to find them. The sound of the drums fades into the distance. Today was just another day for Raven. He would spend his days hopping around looking for berries. He also liked shiny things that sparkled in the sun. There was a sound. Raven turns to see who is coming. Why, it is his friend Wolf, and he is dancing. Raven hops over to Wolf to ask why he is so happy. Wolf tells Raven about what he had seen in the village. After hearing the news, Raven became happy too because he was tired of eating just berries. The thoughts of eating the salmon excited Raven. He began to dance with Wolf. The noise awoke Serpent. Serpent sees Wolf and Raven dancing and wonders what's happening. Hey, what's going on? Serpent asks. Wolf tells Serpent what he had seen the humans doing. After hearing what Wolf had to say, Serpent became happy too and joined the celebration dance. The animals begin to share stories of seasons past. Serpent talks about all the yummy salmon he had eaten. He tells Wolf and Raven the story of how he had come upon the humans taking salmon out of their baskets and scared them. They dropped their baskets and ran. He picked up the basket full of fish and slithered into the forest. Once he was away from the humans, he feasted on the salmon. Wolf talked about sneaking into the village and stealing the smoked salmon. The animals laughed as they talked about the humans. Eagle was flying in the sky and circles the group. She wonders what they are chattering about and decides to stop and see what is going on. When Eagle landed, the excited Raven looks at Wolf and says, "Tell Eagle what you saw happening in the human village." Wolf did not want to tell Eagle about the salmon. Wolf was still angry at Eagle because one season Wolf was by the river and was about to grab the biggest salmon that he had ever seen. Out of nowhere, Eagle flew down from the sky and grabbed the big salmon out of the water with her powerful talons. You see, Eagle is a great fisherman and very proud of this title. Wolf never forgave Eagle for taking the biggest salmon that he had ever seen. It was too late. Eagle was already curious and wanted to know more. So Raven told Eagle about the salmon season starting. Wolf was very angry that Raven had told Eagle the good news. He turned and stomped into the woods. Serpent and Raven became concerned for Wolf and followed him. Eagle flew away. Thunderbird was flying in the sky and had seen what had happened, so he landed to see what was going on. Raven, being so excited about the salmon, rushes to Thunderbird to tell him about the salmon season starting. Thunderbird listens, then tells Raven to gather the other animals so that he can talk to them. Raven goes to tell the others that Thunderbird wants to talk to them. Raven returns with Wolf, then Eagle and Serpent come. Wolf is still mad at Raven for telling the Eagle about the salmon season. He decides he doesn't want to hear anything, so he turns to leave. This angers Thunderbird, and there is a clap of thunder. This frightens Wolf, so he returns to hear what Thunderbird has to say. Thunderbird says, "It is said that the first salmon of the season is to be eaten by the humans. There is a special ceremony done by the humans to show respect to the salmon. If the first salmon is not treated with respect, this will anger the salmon and they will not return year after year." Everyone nodded in agreement. The animals return to the forest as the sun goes down with the sound of the drums in the distance. Wolf tried to sleep, but his stomach growled, and all he could think about was the feast he would have after the ceremony. Early the next morning, before anyone was awake, Wolf decided to go to the river to stare at the salmon. He told himself that he would not eat the salmon, but only stare at them. The salmon jumped into the air as though they were dancing on their tails. The salmon splashed against the waves, their silver skin glistening in the morning sun. Before Wolf knew what had happened, he had grabbed a big salmon out of the river and had bitten into it. He realized what he had done and threw the rest of the salmon to the ground. "Oh no! What have I done?" he thought. He could not resist the dance of the salmon. Someone was coming! Wolf hid behind the big cedar tree. This was the time of the morning when Raven went to the river to bathe. Raven was singing, "I gotta look good and be ready for the feast." As Raven came to the river's edge, he had seen the partially eaten salmon on the ground. "Oh no! Oh no!" he cried. "Someone has eaten the first salmon!" This scared Raven because he thought that he would be blamed for eating the salmon. He turned to fly away, and Wolf was standing there staring at him. "It wasn't me!" he cried. "It wasn't me!" Wolf told Raven to hush up, that he knew who had eaten the salmon. "Really?" Raven as he quieted down. Who was it? Wolf was still angry at Eagle and decided to blame her. It was Eagle, Wolf told Raven. I saw her eating the salmon, then she threw it on the ground and flew away. Oh no, said Raven. Raven went to look for Serpent to tell him what Eagle had done. Raven was screaming for Serpent when out of the forest comes Serpent asking what all the noise was about. Raven went in circles saying, "We are all doomed! There won't be any more salmon!" Serpent said, "What are you talking about?" Raven said he had found a partially eaten salmon by the river, and that Wolf told him that Eagle ate it and threw it on the ground. This would anger the salmon and they would leave forever. "Now the humans will probably eat us," Raven said. Serpent said we must tell Thunderbird. He will tell us what to do. Thunderbird flew to the cliff that overlooked the valley. He saw Raven and Serpent come into the clearing chattering about Eagle. He flies down and lands by them. Thunderbird in a loud commanding voice said, "What's going on?" Raven got scared and said, "You tell him, Serpent." The Serpent said, "No, the Wolf told you, so you tell him." Thunderbird, losing his patience, demands to know what has happened. The Raven, in a small, shaky voice, said, "Woo, woo." Wolf said he saw Eagle eating salmon before the humans had their ceremony. "This cannot be. It will anger the creator of all things," said Thunderbird. Thunderbird sent Serpent to gather the animals of the forest to confront Eagle. Thunderbird watched the animals come one by one. First Raven comes, then Serpent comes followed by Eagle. Eagle, not knowing what was going on, began to greet the others as brothers and sisters. The Eagle notices the others moving away from her and wonders what is going on. Thunderbird, in a loud voice, said, "Eagle, what have you done?" All the animals stared at Eagle, shaking their heads. Eagle moves to the center. In a very polite voice said, "I have done nothing to be ashamed of." Thunderbird looks at Serpent and asks him to step forward. "Say what you know." Serpent said Raven told him about Eagle. Thunderbird looks at Raven and tells him to step forward. "Say what you know." Raven said Wolf told him about seeing Eagle eating the salmon. All the heads turned to look at Wolf. He started to hide his face, slowly backing towards the woods. The sky got dark and the winds began to blow. A loud voice that startles everyone begins to talk.
"Listen to me. Wolf, come forward."
Very scared and shaking, the wolf steps forward.
Never talk about others in a bad way. Speak only the truth. Wolf, you have hurt your sister Eagle and your brother Salmon.
The winds begin to howl and this scares the animals, so they huddle together to protect themselves. Screams ring out. The animals scatter. The creator of all things changed Wolf into Bookwus, the wild, hideous man of the woods. Wolf doesn't know what happened. He runs to the river. He looks into the water and sees his reflection and screams, but only a deep growl is heard. This is a lesson to Wolf from the creator of all things, for all the bad choices he had made. That is how it was, and that is how it is. Make good choices in your life.